Assalamu alaikum. Real Madrid versus Rayo Vallecano. I still struggle to say that name, but it is all going down. November 9th on Sunday. Early in the morning in the US, and I'm sure it's somewhere in the afternoon in other continents. Either way, this game really is not going to change anything in terms of Real Madrid's status. Now look, I'm not here to discuss about why that's not the case, right? But whether it does, whether it doesn't, we still have to win this game. Every single point in the league matters, and this game, we have to win it no matter what. We are 5 points clear and sitting 5 points clear at number 1 with Barcelona number 2, and it's easy for Barcelona to get their points against these other teams who have a hard time with their high line. Now, recently, as we saw with, what's the club's name? Club Berg, right? Or Club Berg, however you want to say it. They kind of handled their high line pretty well. And there's other teams as well in La Liga who've done pretty well. And I don't know if Hansi Flick might change his tactics, right? Either or, we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how and what Real Madrid has to do in order to win. But before we talk about that, let's first go over a little historical context about the team, how Real Madrid is doing as of right now, how Rayo Vallecano has been doing in the league, and what Real Madrid has that is strong, what do they have as their weaknesses, and what do they have to do in order to win. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So like I said, if you guys look at your screen, we have Real Madrid sitting clear at number 1, and we have Rayo Vallecano sitting all the way with 14 points. And out of their last 5 games, they have 3 W's and 2 L's, which, I'm not going to lie, we cannot underestimate this team. Now, I have written down here that in the past 5 games, we have been unbeaten besides this one game. And that one game is against Liverpool. And if you guys want to see my whole breakdown and how I spoke about that game, go ahead and watch the previous video, the one before this one, and look at my reaction to everything. But in terms of speaking about the league, we've been doing well. If you guys do look at the past 5 games, we only lost once, which is against Atletico Madrid. And ever since then, we've been doing pretty well in the league, and we've been pretty solid. Besides the team that do play the low block against us, we kind of still need to find an answer to how to break that low block with ease. Because yes, we could get our goal eventually, but there's times where we are going to struggle to get our goal against these teams that do play the low block against us. Now, for Vallecano, they did have a good game in the Conference League where they got a win, and it was a 3-2. It was a close matchup, and before that one in La Liga, they did lose to Villarreal, a 4-0, which is a huge loss. So, on paper, we all know Real Madrid is supposed to win on paper. But we're not here to talk about on paper. I'm here to talk about the truth. Real Madrid do not always do good just because they're good on paper. We're supposed to, yes, we're supposed to be the ones who are going to win this game. However, that's not always the case. We all know what usually happens in these games, especially against these teams that are not the bigger clubs, right? Even though the bigger clubs are much obvious that we've been doing bad against them. But I'm talking about the smaller clubs where they're not really as big as these other clubs that we've been going up against. They can cause surprises to us, and especially if they do play the low block. Vallecano most likely is going to play the low block against us, and that is where we're going to struggle. So really quick, going back to Real Madrid and talking about their strengths, I did put that they are in good form. Even though they did lose against Liverpool, it was not a humiliating loss. Yes, it was humiliating at to some extent, but not as bad as Atletico Madrid. Because against Atletico Madrid, we lost 5-0. 5-2, sorry about that. But at the very least, we did score. And at the very least, we lost mostly through set pieces. We kind of conceded these goals over and over and over again through only set pieces. But Liverpool, they did it through, it was a set piece, but not even that. Let's say we ended the game with a draw, you could see on paper, you could see through the stats, you could see through the game itself, Liverpool dominated us on paper. With possession, with momentum, with us playing to their ball game, we had to play their ball game. We conceded their pressing. We couldn't do anything. There was no answer for Liverpool. Atletico Madrid, we did have here and there some of these answers. But to be honest, this is in the UCL. In La Liga, we do know now that it's huge. It's obvious now. I don't know if you guys know, but there's been talks about La Liga's quality, football quality. There's a post as well that's been going around that I think out of all the La Liga teams that played in the UCL against European teams, only one got a win, and that was Barcelona. The rest got a loss or maybe a draw. I don't know. I think it was all losses. So 7 wins, I believe, Premier League teams won, and 1 loss, or European teams, whatever it is. You guys get my point. La Liga is being questioned. So that is my point, is that La Liga really isn't the main issue for Real Madrid. Real Madrid is going to get their points regardless, right? Now, I'm not saying every single point. I'm not saying this game is 100% guaranteed to win. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not as bad as when we go up against a European team that's outside of Spain. Now, I might make a whole video in regards to that, but talking about their strengths, they are in form in La Liga. Mbappé and Bellingham, and most recently, by the way, they did get nominated for the FIFA Pro World Starting 11. So not everybody can do that. I don't know if Bellingham might get on it, but I know Mbappé probably for sure he might be on it because he did win the European Golden Boot. But they are good. They are in form. Ever since Bellingham did come back from that injury, he, I believe, produced 4 goals, assists as well. So Bellingham has also been in form, as we know Mbappé is. Those players are our key players in this game. Arda Güler, as we know, he does do good in these La Liga games. However, he's been tested a bunch of times in these big games, and I believe maybe even against Barcelona he might have done good. But against Liverpool, as we all know, everybody's been saying that he didn't perform as well against Atletico Madrid, against PSG. So Arda Güler really, he is our key for this game, but moving forward in big games, Arda still has to prove himself. Going back to Bellingham really quick, he's been really key for us as a defender, a key for us for our controlling, and a key for us for when we're attacking. Bellingham can do it all. And if you guys have not seen it, this guy is a machine and he's a magician. He is really great at what he does, which is why I'm a huge fan of Xabi Alonso putting him this roaming role, right? The roaming role. I struggle saying that. But I'm a fan of that, because Bellingham does good on these both sides, but at the same time, I'm a little afraid of him probably getting these overload issues, maybe muscle injuries, God forbid, because he's running a lot. I see him, literally the way I see Bellingham the most who's playing for the badge. The way he's running, the way he's hustling, the way he is hungry. Even though with all the success he has at a young age, he is hungry. I see him the most playing for the badge, and that's why Bellingham is a huge key for us, a huge strength for us. Even though if he has a bad game, he is still big for us and plays a huge vital role at Real Madrid. We have Trent, who is back. Now, I'm not going to list him as a strength, but we do know that Valverde does play at the right back position. However, if Trent starts at the right back position, I do believe Valverde should go back at that holding midfielder. I feel like we are more comfortable with Valverde there, even though he has not been kind of on the score sheet as much, or hasn't been more on the spotlight. I still feel like he's like this player that's being left out by the media, but still plays a big role in his team. And we could kind of see that in these big games when, for example, against Liverpool, where Valverde did good on the right back position. However, that midfield was getting exposed big time, and Tchouaméni couldn't do it alone. Obviously, we had Ceballos down there, we had Camavinga down there, but they don't do as a better job, in my opinion, than Valverde playing at that defensive midfielding position. Now, we're going to move on to the weakness. And number one, the most obvious one that I'm going to say is we got Tchouaméni injured. He's going to be out. So now the question is, who's going to be on that holding midfielder position, right? As we know, Tchouaméni has been our key player, the one, I believe, in my opinion, top 3 best defensive holding midfielders in the world. And now he's gone. He's injured. So now, in my opinion, he might have to put Camavinga and Valverde if Trent starts at the right back position. They are the most reliable after Tchouaméni. In my opinion, like I said, it could, go either left or either right. I don't know why I had the thing open, but that's one of our weaknesses. Our defense, we do have Dean Huijsen. We do have Militao, who is still good. We know Carvajal, he's still injured, and he's not going to be back after the Clásico. Carreras is going to be there for us. So our weakness is really going to fall on the right back position and that defensive holding midfielder position, because with both of our key players out, we don't know if Valverde might start at the right back position. We don't know if Trent is 100% fully to start, because his first couple of minutes ever since the injury was against Liverpool, which is probably, I think it was the last 10 minutes of the game. Another weakness that I do want to mention that not a lot of people are going to mention is Real Madrid playing away has not been good. Now, I did search up this fact, right? When we play away, when we're not in our home stadium, Real Madrid concede 1.25, so you could say maybe it could be even 2 goals per game if we play away. So per away game, that's a lot. We're not supposed to be conceding, especially teams against Rayo Vallecano. We're not supposed to concede against teams like that, because yes, I'm not trying to doubt them, like they could score on us, but when there's a stat on how much we're conceding away per game, it's kind of obvious what our weakness is. And Real Madrid has to work on that. They have to work on controlling themselves, humbling themselves whenever they're in the away stadium. They have to learn how to play under pressure, because even in Liverpool, they were whistling. The Anfield fans were brutal to Real Madrid. And in my honest opinion, Real Madrid fans, please don't come at me for this, because I'm going to be completely honest, and I've been saying this for 2 years, ever since I got back watching football. The Bernabeu does not have the aura that it used to have. So look, we do have our respect for our rivals, right? I believe, in my opinion, we have the most respect. Not the most, but, compared to the other rival teams and the other big clubs that have a big fandom, the Bernabeu does not make enough noise to put pressure on the away team. I could be wrong on that. I could probably be not focused on the whistling and the boos, but we have to do that, because there's a reason why we're playing at home, is to gain that advantage. Now, yes, we see a bunch of white in the crowd, and we see a bunch of Real Madrid flags, and we see Spain flags, whatever, But the thing is that the crowd really matters. Now, I don't know if the fans are coming as like a guest where they're not really Real Madrid like die-hardcore fans, but I'm sure there's more of those hardcore die-hard fans than there are guests. And we have to not lose our energy, which is why I feel like that's our weakness. We concede a lot more, because every time we play away, and it's every single game, where the boos, the whistles, and all of that is just 10 times worse when they're playing against us. And Real Madrid has to return that energy to whoever's team is coming to our stadium. It's not the same. You can't tell me the Bernabeu has the same energy as Anfield's crowd. It's just impossible. So that's one of our weakness, and Real Madrid really, at that point, got to humble themselves, try to block out the noise, and try to stay focused. I'm not saying we're going to lose because of that, but it sucks when we concede away goals, especially at playing away. And so I do mention the strengths and the weaknesses, but I do also want to mention key Real Madrid players. I said Jude Bellingham, I said Kylian Mbappé, I said Valverde. However, I do want to emphasize that Trent is really vital for us, and I hope that he does start if he's healthy, because Trent with his attacking and Trent with his defense and his support really helps the team. You guys should go back and look at the way he crosses, the way he passes, his long balls is beautiful. We need Trent to be healthy, and we need him to play. Camavinga has to be locked in. After that Liverpool game, everybody started calling him a fraud, whatever. Camavinga has to lock in this game and regain his respect. Even though it's in La Liga, he has to regain his respect until the next time we are back in the Champions League. So now, what does Real Madrid have to do in order to win? What do they have to do? And it's as simple as controlling the momentum. And that is the only thing I'm going to say. I'm not even going to mention pressing and everything. I feel like I've been saying that too many times. Control the momentum. Because when you control the momentum, all those other things are going to fall in place. If Real Madrid does not control the momentum, does not control the tempo, and does not let the team, the away team, right, Vallecano, if they don't play Real Madrid's game, if they don't play what Real Madrid wants them to play, Real Madrid is not going to win this game. And I guarantee you that, especially that we're playing away, Real Madrid has to make them play their game. They have to be the one controlling the ball, controlling the tempo. Most importantly, play fast. That's all I have to say. That's what Real Madrid has to do. And let me know if you guys agree. Leave it in the comments below. Do you guys think Real Madrid got this? Do you think Rayo Vallecano is going to cause an upset? Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. And make sure that you like the video. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe, because a lot of you guys are new. And hey, subscribing is free. Like I always say, make sure you subscribe. And until then, Assalamu alaikum.